Well, California is still working out the kinks after the legalization of recreational marijuana. One serious issue, impaired drivers continue to present a challenge for law enforcement. KPIX 5's Juliette Goodrich on the group that's trying to tackle that issue. Juliette?
Well, Alan, this was really a first of its kind in the Bay Area, a marijuana traffic safety summit here in Dublin with law enforcement, cannabis advocates, and people in the legal system all coming together to decide what is the best way to get impaired and stoned drivers off the road. The CHP says since January 1st, when recreational cannabis use became legal, injuries related to people driving under the influence of marijuana has increased 102%, and driving impaired arrests are also up. The sad reality hit home.
Recently, we lost somebody else to distracted driving. We can't afford to lose anybody else, officer or just a motorist.
That's one of the reasons the CHP held a marijuana traffic safety summit, bringing together people from law enforcement, the Department of Justice, and members of the cannabis industry.
The takeaways is training and education. Not only training and education for law enforcement officials, but also for our judges, our prosecutors, and our community at large.
It's complicated.
Jennifer Knudsen is a traffic safety resource prosecutor with the DA's office in Colorado, a state that legalized recreational pot 4 years before California did. She spoke at the summit today.
We talked a bit about the dangers of driving after using marijuana, what officers can look for in their investigations, how to tie that together with any toxicology results, and then ultimately about the use in the courtroom.
Unlike alcohol, there is no legal limit for pot under California, and field tests are oftentimes inadmissible in court.
What we do not want to see is these chemical tests that try to put fixed numbers on whether people are impaired, because it's more than a fixed number.
All would agree today there needs to be more training and public awareness when it comes to cannabis-impaired driving.
Our officers are being trained to be drug recognition experts, as well as more aware of people that are driving under the influence of drugs. But we're also learning that the society still believes that you can smoke marijuana and drive and be perfectly fine.
There was about 200 people at this summit today. It went from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The general public was also invited, and they say this conversation will continue. There will be other summits. There's even a task force that's been set up that meets quarterly. The next one will be meeting in Sacramento in September. They say they'll continue this to make the roads safer. And keep in mind, it is against the law to have cannabis in your car, just like an open container. In Dublin, Juliette Goodrich, KPIX 5.